What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Rant of Thrones, the poor man's Game of Thrones after show. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Kelly.
We are here to talk about episode 5 of season 6, which was entitled The Door. In this episode, Sansa confronts Littlefinger about what he knew of Ramsay's intentions. Arya gets an opportunity to prove herself. Bran is transported to a dangerous place. Tyrion envisions an unusual alliance, and Brienne undertakes an important new mission. And full disclosure, people, we watched the pirated / leaked episode of Game of Thrones. We could not wait. I'm in the middle of moving right now, and whenever I saw that was up, I was like, hey, let's go ahead and watch it now, so that way we could talk about it a little bit sooner, which turned out not to be the case. And I will say, just don't watch the leak shit. It was not as good of an experience for what was a fucktastically amazing episode of Game of Thrones. Holy shit. Man, I just want to talk about, let's just go straight to the ending of this episode right off the bat, because that was...
I'm crying.
Yeah, it was such an emotional experience. I would have to put this ending, the death, that all the deaths that we saw, I think that's like right up there with Ned Stark's death in season 1 as the most, like, it's just the saddest.
Right.
I was just distraught. I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
What about you?
It was. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, and now we know, after all this time, why he called himself Hodor. He's just saying, "Hold the door, hold the door." Hold the door. I mean, it's like, oh my God, no! It was just, and I don't know what to call the little fairy things.
They're the children of the forest.
Okay, I always call them like wood sprites, or
I mean, that's basically what they're kind of, their visual appearance. It looks very similar. I think my girlfriend just called them fairies.
Yeah. Okay. So the fairies, especially the one at the very end, that she gave her life in the way she did. I mean, oh my gosh, it was incredible. It was the ending was just amazing of this episode.
Yeah. So I can't wait to watch it again. I call basically those little bombs, I just call them their acorn bombs. That's what they look like, little acorns with that turn to flames and everything. So this episode was crazy.
The only thing I didn't like about this episode was there was not enough Jon Snow.
I know.
No, I mean, seriously, there just wasn't.
Well, that's the thing about this episode to me, is there's a lot of stuff on Game of Thrones that you can read so much into, and whenever maybe at first glance it doesn't, you just kind of pass it by. Like it was a passing statement that one of the characters made, but then you go back and you read into the lore of all these things and like the prophecies and everything. And then you come to find out, like, holy shit, that was like a huge revelation on the show. That one random, quote that one of the characters said, because we got one of those as well in this episode from the new chick, the new Red Priestess. I guess her name is Kinvara. I didn't actually catch it. I just had to look it up afterwards and saw that was her name, because she drops the bombshell that it's not the prince who was promised, it was the person who was promised. She is very politically correct.
She is extremely politically correct. And to me, you could also be, you're a little safer in putting something out like that when if you say the person, because then, you cover both of the sexes, and then I'm closer to being right.
That's true. Yes, if we were going off of Nostradamus' predictions, he would have probably said the person, as opposed to Melisandre's the prince who was promised, who, is kind of, she's had egg on her face quite a few times with the whole prince who was promised thing. So
this chick seemed pretty sharp.
Oh my God. The conversation she had with Varys and Tyrion and Meereen was so amazing. Like, Varys was... he was like dumbfounded. And he's almost as good as Tyrion, with the quips and the comebacks. Like, nothing ever gets under his skin. Even when, I think, like, even in those moments where his life was basically in danger, he was still like pretty quick-witted. And in this moment, he didn't have any words to say. He was just completely awestruck at what the story that she told of how he lost his manly bits.
Right.
It was
And
amazing.
the voice that he heard. And the thing was, is he was being extremely sassy prior to that.
He was.
Everything that Tyrion said, he had to say the opposite of, which I kind of liked them together as a team. They covered both sides of the story pretty well.
You liked Tyrion and Varys as a
Uh
team?
huh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
They're they're right now to me the most interesting part of Marine. Obviously, I mean I know that we've got a civil war that's uprising as we speak between the slavers and the slavees and everything. So, but that them paired together is always great. I've loved them since season one. Everybody that gets paired with Tyrion is great.
Oh,
Like
I know. He
you
brings
know,
everybody up.
yeah, he does. He definitely does. But I can't wait to find out more about this priestess because it kind of seems like she didn't quite throw Melisandre under the bus,
Mm-hmm.
but she was kind of like, I'm
She's old news.
yeah, I'm the new hot
Yeah.
red woman. She's
But
definitely old news.
don't take off my necklace because we don't want to see.
No,
We don't know. We don't know
don't
what's going on.
we don't want to see those saggy boobs underneath that.
All right. So I have a question.
Yeah.
How excited were you to see how Sansa was? I mean, she was just the way she fronted Littlefinger, um, and the fact that she's asking him question after question. What did you know? And Littlefinger, of course, is being so political as he always is, wouldn't answer until Brienne puts her hand on the sword, and then he's like, "Tut, tut, 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 tut."
Yeah, he was quick to come up with something whenever Brienne definitely was about to cut him down. No, it was great. I love their meeting. The only thing that I'm ultimately concerned about with their whole meeting and everything is because I still don't quite know where Littlefinger fits into all of this. Like, is he really on the up and up right now? Is he actually trying to help the North
He's
take Winterfell back?
never on the up and up.
I don't think so either. And the fact that they have that conversation, and he says that Bryden the Blackfish is taking River Run back over, and that's Sansa's uncle and everything. And then she uses that as basically like concrete evidence and fact because Littlefinger said it was so that's
Mhm.
going to take Jon
Right.
Snow and them, and then they're going to go try to recruit Bryden into Jon Snow's army and everything. And that worries the shit out of me. One, I don't know why the hell Sansa would automatically be trusting of anything Littlefinger said after she just had the conversation with him of like, hey, bitch, you sent me off to get all sorts of terrible things happening to
Right.
me under Ramsay. So I don't know. I don't know about Littlefinger um, because ultimately, if he gets in favor with Sansa, and he has the little Lord Aaron back in the Vale and everything.
Right.
Because we didn't get to talk about last week's episode, which was a phenomenal episode as well. But there's rumors and speculation, and these are just completely rumors because I don't think this is not in the books or anything like that. But it's you could kind of see that, okay, is he trying to get back on Sansa's good side and then eventually wed little Aaron and Sansa? So then he will, because he's got the little Aaron dude. What is his name? I forget. I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now.
I can't think of what it is
I
either.
cannot remember
I mean,
his name.
all I ever think of is seeing him, as a 7, 8 year old kid nursing on his mother. That's the
His
picture.
mother's teat.
Yes, and make the little man
Yeah,
fly.
throw him through the moon door, which he was super saddened that he didn't get to throw somebody through the moon door last week as well. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm worried is that he may be on the up and up, but he's still definitely he's thinking like 10 steps ahead, and I do think that he is in right now in his mind, if he can get Sansa back and he can wed these two together, then he will like have ultimate control of the North basically because, little Aaron listens to him and everything. But
What do you think his end game is, really? I mean, Does he think he'll somehow become king, or just be the man behind the king or the queen?
I don't know. I definitely don't think that he likes the spotlight, the complete spotlight, because then he can't work in the shadows if all the light is shining on him. Because then
And the kid's name is
everybody's.
Robin.
Oh, Robin Aaron.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, I could not remember for the life of me, but yeah, I don't know what his end game is, because I thought at one point that he was trying to, take over the Iron Throne, and that was his ultimate vision, his ultimate goal. But I don't think that's what it is. It definitely, it seems like he likes to be the person pulling the strings behind the person in power.
Mm-hmm.
So just in
Right.
case, the king gets his head chopped off, well, he can just go attach himself to the next king or queen or
Right.
whoever it is that's in power. So yeah, I don't know, but I am very interested to find out if he was telling the truth about Bryden, and whether or not that's going to be a good thing whenever John and the group make it there to River Run and everything. So, but I like the scenes that they had together. I like the fact that Sansa, I mean, she was taking no shit from
Mm-hmm.
Littlefinger. That was great to see. I always love Brienne of Tarth. Anytime that she gets to fight somebody, I'm all about that. That's freaking awesome. I'm always excited about that. I'm trying to go through some of my random notes that I took down, because some other stuff that happened at Castle Black. They were basically planning the siege, which of course is what led them to go to try to seek out the Blackfish.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about her lying to
I di-
Davos and John?
I didn't understand that. I really didn't. I mean, why not just say where she got that information from? Because to me, if you don't, put it out there as, this is something that could possibly be true. I mean, you put so many people's lives at risk,
Yeah,
and I I can't lose Jon Snow again.
I know. The good thing is I think that even if we do lose him again, as long as Melisandre is around, she can, revive him and bring him back to life, just
Yeah,
like
but
Lord, the Beric Dondarrion guy. So,
yeah, but we got lucky this time
and he won't,
because
he might not be as pretty either
right,
because
exactly.
Beric
That's
didn't
what I'm
have an eye going on or anything, so
right,
he was looking pretty rough. He brought him back to life, but he didn't bring him back to his old visual self.
right.
And John's already got
Would
the scar.
would you like John as much if when he came back the next time, if he was completely bald,
No,
all
no.
that glorious hair was
I
gone?
I've got to have those luscious locks of Jon Snow's. I think one of my other favorite things that just keeps happening in every episode now, and it's glorious, is Tormund and Brienne. And whenever
I
he was googly and he was googly eyeing her hardcore.
know. Mm-hmm. Yo, baby.
No,
Hey,
it's perfect.
girl, what you doing? Yeah,
I'm shipping them so hard. Like
I
my
know.
girlfriend every week, whenever I just start cracking up laughing every time I see Tormund and Brienne in a scene together, she's like, "Oh my God, you love them two together." I do. I love them together.
Okay, do you think that we'll see them get it on before the end of the season?
I don't know. There's going to be lots of bloodshed happening here pretty soon, so
I
I
know,
think
but that's like the biggest aphrodisiac,
I
you
know.
know?
We haven't seen freaking Braun. I'm like, is Braun even still on the show? But whenever they went over to Dorne, is that, yeah, that's where they went
Right.
last season, and he's like, all Dornish people want to do is fight and fuck and fight,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean, once
They go
you
hand
get
in
yeah,
hand.
you get your good fight on,
Yeah.
and then you can bone it out. So I I'm certainly hoping for Tormund's sake that he gets that. I mean, I think Brienne's slowly coming around in this episode. She mentioned something about that redheaded,
Hmm.
person. She
Hmm.
she didn't sound like she was totally against it, but I don't know. I'm all about it. I'm excited. And I loved the ending scene that we got from Castle Black whenever John and them they ride off and somebody goes up to Dolores Ed and they're like, Lord Commander, do you want us to shut the gate? He was like, what? Why are you asking me? I'm not the Lord. He goes, I'm not the Lord, and he like tails off, and he says, yeah, close the bloody gate.
Everybody's just standing there. They can't make a move
Yeah, no.
until somebody tells them what to do.
Until the Lord Commander
Yep.
tells them what to do. Yeah, I love that. I loved all the scenes with, of course, with Jon and Sansa. It's been that's been great. Last week was such a touching scene, getting them coming back together and
I know.
everything. It was fabulous. Okay, let's touch on a few other things, and then I want to come back to the amazingly awesome, crazy fight scene that happened at the end. Let's go over to Vice Dothrak really quick. We had a nice, touching moment between Dany and Jorah.
Oh my God! He told her he does love her. Tyrion was right. I love you. And I thought, that, I mean, there were so many different ways that could have gone, but it went perfectly.
It did.
Yeah. I mean, she sends him off, because then he shows her the grayscale that he has. And that's what it's called, right? Grayscale?
Yeah, grayscale, yep.
Yeah. And he's gonna leave, and he turns to leave, and she's like, "Oh hell no! Your queen didn't say that you could go."
Yeah, it was perfect. I loved Dany in that moment because that was something I was going to ask you if we did actually get around to chatting about last week's episode. Is Dany? What path is Dany on at this point? Because we see her burn all the calls down, and we've seen her have this like very ruthless side previously on the show where she's just like, I will burn everybody in my wake. I'm taking back the Iron Throne. It's my right. It's my right. It's my birthright and everything. And then we kind of saw her transitioning into this ruler that wanted to be fair and didn't want all this violence and everything.
Big mistake.
Yeah, and it didn't work out well
Right.
for her. So after last week of her burning the calls, I'm like, okay, is she going to be going down this path basically of the Mad King and going down where he was, this horrible ruler that nobody liked, and it's the reason why he basically got overthrown is because the people were sick of his shit, being so ruthless and everything. But that this scene, I think, kind of dispelled that a little bit for me. That she's gonna have that middle ground. I'm hoping that she's gonna still seek out guidance from somebody like Tyrion and Varys, that they can be, they can put the hammer down when they need to, but they can also, kind of pull back a little bit. And I love this scene with her and Jorah. Oh, it was so good.
It was so good, and it was just, obviously, even though she has sent him away numerous times, and I guess even, put him to the death, or put him, told him he needed to be executed. So, but she loved him at some point, or had an affection for him.
Mm-hmm.
But when she actually tears up, then you realize that the affection that she has is really deep, and it's on her own, in her own way, she does love him a lot. So, I mean, she doesn't want to have his babies or anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's like,
it's not that kind of love.
Sexy love. It's
no.
Dad love, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of creepy because he definitely loves her. Like, I want to sex you up, but
yeah,
she's like, I love you, Grandpa. I think that's kind of how she feels about it. I mean, Dario, it was very nice of Dario not to pipe up and be like, you can't ride the dragon, old man. Yeah, that was good.
I thought, I mean, they've already had this conversation while they were off on their little, buddy adventure to find her. So he'd already thrown in all the digs that he needed to.
Yeah, he let him have this one. He had he let him have Jorah's moment in the sun there, having Dany say that, come back to me. I need you to return to be by my side. It was glorious. I don't know if we ever see Jorah again, though.
I know.
That's one thing I don't.
I was going to ask you what you thought.
Yeah, I don't feel like we see him again, unless I don't think it'll be this season for sure. I don't think we see him until next season. And
okay, Stannis' daughter,
Shireen
had grayscale.
Yep. She stopped the spread of it.
Right. How did they do that? I can't remember.
I mean, on the show, I don't think it's known, other than the fact that Stannis said that he went to maesters all over the world, and they basically came together and helped stop the spread of it. They
So
obviously
it's
never got rid of the grayscale, but
right,
it didn't kill her.
right. So it's doable.
It's doable, but I think Stannis had a lot more resources than Jorah Mormont has. So he needs to get some cash,
Yeah,
because these maesters, I think they like a little dough in their pockets
yeah,
for stopping the grayscale. Or he needs Dany to become the ruler of Westeros.
yeah.
And
And
which,
then have that free healthcare.
yeah, exactly. he needs that free healthcare for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we see him again, but I certainly hope we do. I'm sad to, if this is the last time we see Jorah, that really makes me sad, because
He's one of my favorites.
yeah, he's so awesome in the Mormonts. I think I always forget it's Mormont. I think it's Mormont. Um, they're one of the great families of Westeros, and I believe I think they're one of the first families. I may be wrong. I'm sure some Game of Thrones aficionado will correct me, but I feel like they've got a long history at least.
Right, right.
So I'm excited for his return. Please God, let him come back. So I'm really hoping that he comes back. So
Me too.
but it was a really touching scene. I really like that. We haven't gotten a lot of Dany scenes yet. Last week was like the most Dany heavy episode that we've gotten thus far. I was kind of thinking they would probably come back to her a lot in this episode, but they didn't. And then the other part of the episode that was, there's two other main things that happened in this episode. We'll cover the House of Black and White stuff. Arya.
Arya gets her ass kicked again.
Yeah, I was like, isn't she past this?
I
Like,
know.
she already blocked the waif chick and
I
beat her
know.
ass, and then all
But
of a sudden,
instead, she puts the stick down and beats her with her fists.
yeah, she's like, bitch, I don't need this stick. I'm
Oh
gonna take
my
you to task this week.
God. I
Yeah,
was like, I'm so sick of seeing her get a bloody nose.
yeah. I don't know. It's that part. It's not doing it for me. I mean, I love Jack and Agar, so anytime I get to see him interact with Arya, I love it. I think it's great. But the more interesting thing to me was that whenever Jaqen sent her on the task to take out, I'm guessing Lady Crane again. Like, this was a bootleg version of the episode, so I don't know.
The Lady Stork is what I had on IMDb.
Oh well.
Instead of her playing, because she played Lady Stark.
Yes.
No? Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no, wait, no, she didn't play Lady Stark.
No, she didn't play Lady Stark. Yeah.
Yeah. She was playing Sansa. No.
No, she's
Cersei.
playing Cersei.
Cersei.
Jesus. Yes, she was playing Cersei. But yes.
I don't know why you find that so funny. These names are hard.
There's a lot of them, and especially whenever we go through like a play that is a flashback of.
That was so great, though. I loved the play.
Yeah.
And I loved how Arya was getting, such a kick out of it until the guy that came on that was playing Ned, that was, scratching his nuts. And he just seemed like just a total loser. Well, that part wasn't very funny.
No, that was lame. And then the fact that they ripped Sansa's shirt off and it shows her boobs.
I know.
Yeah, that was. Because she's in Braavos, which is the free city of Braavos. And I guess that I'm guessing they're still loyal to the Baratheons and / the Lannisters, because I guess technically Tommen is the king of Westeros. It doesn't feel like it because, he's kind of a little bitch. So it was a little bit weird because, yeah, this was like the death of Robert Baratheon and the rise of Joffrey.
Yeah.
And they just like completely talked mad crap about Ned, which was not cool. And I don't know if Arya is going to go through with her mission, or is she just going to kill everybody in this play?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting that she questioned why she needed to kill that actress, because she seems like a nice lady. And I'm like, oh, dude, Arya, do you want to get your ass kicked again? Actually, he told her, look, this is your second chance and your last chance.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
loved it. I love his line. I don't know if I've got it exactly right. I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but he said, "Does death only come for the wicked and leave the divine?" Because yeah, Jack and Agar's like, "Nah, you're gonna kill this chick, or yeah, you're gonna get the hell out of the with the faceless men. You're no longer gonna be hanging with us and getting your ass kicked on a daily basis."
yeah, and he seemed like to me, I thought he was threatening her life.
Could be. I don't know. I still don't. I don't quite know. I don't know enough about this backstory or anything. So for me, it's just kind of this portion of the story is a little bit meandering, considering we've been doing this since last season, and we haven't gotten a whole lot farther than we were last season
I know the
with
entirety
Arya.
of last season.
Yeah, no. So, but the play portion, it was
That part was
interesting.
great.
Yeah, it was funny. I did chuckle a few times, but then I'm like, Arya, kill all of them, get Needle out and stab the shit out of all of these people. But I am curious because whenever Arya is asking about that, she said something about the younger actress and the fact that she seemed jealous of the older actress.
Uh-huh.
Do you think she put the hit out on this lady Crane or
Well,
whatever
see,
her name was?
I thought that was what Arya was trying to suggest,
Yeah.
and he didn't care who did it.
Yeah, he doesn't care either way it goes. Somebody's got to die. Yeah, I
I
don't.
didn't realize they were just hitmen. I mean, up until this point, I felt like they had some kind of a divine calling.
Yeah, some kind of
But
just cause.
yeah, but after tonight's episode, it just seemed like whoever has some money to keep this thing going.
Yeah, I mean the House of Black and White's pretty damn nice.
It really is.
I mean, especially from the outside. Inside, not so fancy.
Well,
Outside looks really good.
I would have to say there's a lot of special oils that have to be put on those people's faces to keep them
That,
all nice and fresh.
that's very true. That's very true. And he did give her a nice story of the first faceless man and everything. So, which was cool to hear about and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going down there, but maybe they are just hitmen. And they're supposed to be hitmen for the poor, the weak, and the defenseless.
Yeah, well, that didn't seem like it.
Yeah, sometimes they kind of maybe they're getting a little greedy. The poor, the defenseless, and the really rich people that have a lot
Yeah.
of money to pay us to kill people off. I'm not sure. Okay, the other main thing that I wanted to touch on really quickly, the Iron Islands. Holy hell, that scene was pretty badass at the Kingsmoot. I like that a lot. I love Theon's speech. It was
Yeah.
it was awesome. The fact that she is your rightful ruler. She's a Reaver. I don't know what else he said, but he said she's Ironborn. She's your queen, and I like
Right.
that.
Right.
He was very emphatic about that. But then Euron came in and was a total dick.
Yeah. But let me ask you, would you even want to be given the throne, the Salt King?
No.
Not if they're going to drown you first.
Well, not only that, but everybody on the Iron Islands seems like a bunch of a-holes.
Well, yeah, he becomes king, and then he's like, "Let's go kill my niece and my nephew.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate."
Yeah, let's go party it up with some deaths.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, Balon was pretty much an asshole. Euron seems like one. Yar and Theon seem like the only. Well, Theon now he does. He was
yeah.
definitely a little bit too boastful and kind of very condescending to people previously. He's
Well,
definitely backtrack on that. So
I would say that everybody isn't an asshole because they did get enough people that felt that Yara should be the ruler because obviously, they stole the fleet.
yeah, they got out of there really quickly
Yeah.
and really fast.
They rounded up the troops
And
and
they-
got the hell out.
Yeah, it seems like Euron's gonna be waiting for a hot minute before he
Yeah.
goes and does anything, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
we've got
sure
to
Danny's
build a
gonna burn.
ship.
Yeah, Danny's gonna burn his ass. Like he's gonna do all this for nothing because as soon as he gets there and tries to act like he's the man, and Danny should be happy to have my huge cock, as he says. Yeah,
That was such a dick.
Drogon's gonna bite that thing off, and then the rest of the dragons are gonna burn your ass. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna bring these ships, that's for sure. Danny's gonna get this Iron Fleet of yours, but you're not gonna be around to celebrate.
Well, how long is it going to take him to to get there anyway? Let's go cut down a tree to
Yeah.
start building a ship again.
And it looked like he had about 30 people compared to the fact that it seemed like Theon and Yara left with lots more people.
I think so.
Yeah, they were really quick to crown him the Lord of the Iron Islands just because he killed Balon. But I like the fact that there was no hee-hawing around. I mean, as soon as Yara accused him, he's like, "You damn right I killed him, and I wish I'd have done it sooner."
Yeah, I liked that too.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you know, he backs his talking up. It seems like, or he's not scared to back his talking up, because I think he would have liked to have just had a fight to the death right there between Yara and Theon.
I think there was a lot of things about him that I could have respected, and like you said, I mean, if he wouldn't have just wanted to, to kill his family afterwards, killing his brother. Okay, his brother was a dick, and he wasn't doing anything good for everybody.
Yeah, he definitely screwed up that whole Winterfell, taking that over and everything. And Balon. Balon was just a complete dick, that's for sure. Like, nobody liked Balon. I don't know. I've never seen anybody out there being like, hashtag Balon's my homeboy or something like that on Twitter. Yeah, he's definitely, he's not cool. I was going to tell you something about Euron. I can't remember what it was. Oh, just that I would agree. I would have agreed with you that there were some qualities to Euron that I did like, and I like the fact that he is wanting to team up with Dany. Like, I thought that was a cool nod to somebody else in Westeros, acknowledging the fact that there's this random chick. She's out there amassing this huge army. She's got fucking dragons. Like, we need to go be in her corner.
Right.
Like, she's going to take over Westeros, because, we haven't heard a lot about that from anybody in Westeros. Basically, not since Robert Baratheon was going to go try to kill her.
Right.
It's been a while since anybody else, like any of these other lords, have really mentioned Dany that much. So I thought that was he's got a good plan, but his way of executing it,
he should have just said,
work.
I heard she's really hot. Not only, is she, amassing this army, but she's hot. I think we'd make a great pair.
Yeah.
It's all in the wording of it.
The delivery.
Yeah.
You need to work on that delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a great delivery. So, okay, let's finish up here really quickly, because it's such a great night for TV. Preacher's about to come on. I cannot wait to see that. Fear the Walking Dead had its mid-season finale tonight as well. But all right, so let's go back to the Three-Eyed Raven's cave and just end on this conversation of Hodor dying, Summer dying, the Three-Eyed Raven's dying, or he's dead. He gets killed. Leaf sacrifices herself. I believe that's the main Children of the Forest one that you were talking about earlier.
Right.
That drops the bomb basically, and at the ending, Hodor is ripped apart by the Whites, which was just devastating. It's weird for me to say this, that I'm really excited to go back and watch this episode because it was so sad at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really cool, some of the revelations that we got. The fact that in that first part, Bran flashes back to the creation of the White Walkers and the Night's King, basically. That was super cool. The fact that we find out, at least in the TV show, I have no clue what about the books, but in the TV show, the Children of the Forest are the ones that create the White Walkers. Like, that's crazy.
Doesn't it kind of create a paradox here, almost?
Well,
I mean, that
I definitely, I agree with you for sure.
I mean, it's just it's one of those things. It's like, okay, they created them, and then it came back and bit them in the ass.
Yeah, and I feel like that there's other paradoxes in this episode just because we Bran created Hodor, and if
Hodor,
you could
and
see me on a screen right now, I've got air quotations.
I know, exactly. And he's watching him have this seizure and like feeling like he's being ripped apart at the time
Yeah,
when he was still back being Willis.
I know. And
It's too many things for my brain to wrap around.
no, I agree, and that was another question I was going to ask you. I think based on last week's episode, or maybe the week before, if we can, because I don't think we ever came back and touched on it after we podcasted about it. But that's something I'm very interested in seeing is whether or not Bran can. We obviously see in this episode that he can change the past. He did change the past by him calling out. Well, actually, it wasn't even him. It was Mira calling out
Right.
and saying like, "We need Hodor. We need Hodor."
Right.
And it's somehow, obviously because Bran's body is right there, so I guess on some subconscious level he could hear it, even though he was stuck in this flashback with the three-eyed raven. Yeah, so people are speculating, and I don't know if this would ever happen. I honestly don't think I'd really want it to happen, but they're saying, is Bran just going to be able to go back? Because in last week's episode, Sansa and Jon are having this conversation at Castle Black, and they're reminiscing of how stupid they were when they were younger, 6 seasons
Right.
ago.
Right.
And Sansa's like, I wish that I could just scream at myself and say, "Don't go, don't go." Well, Bran can do that.
So, will we end the series with the Starks all being happy together?
I hope not, and
Rob will be there.
I mean, I think I can definitively say that George R. R. Martin said that would not happen. That that nothing would course correct the past, and the Starks would not have died, mostly all died and everything. But the show's it's a different beast. Like they're already they've surpassed the books. They're doing stuff that's off book now. I do not want the show to end that way. Like, I don't want Bran to go back in some flashback and tell Ned, "Hey Ned, don't do it. Don't become the Hand of the King. It's gonna be really shitty if you do that." I don't want that to happen, even though that would mean that Robb would be alive, Catelyn Stark would be alive, Ned would be alive, all the direwolves would be alive. Because damn, we just keep losing direwolves. Like
that one, oh my God, the one tonight that broke my heart.
Yeah, it was really sad seeing Summer get killed. I mean,
just listening to the crying was just.
Oh, I know, because I'm like hugging my dog during the episode.
I know.
I'm like, "Oh, I love you, Mac. You're the bestest."
I know.
Yeah, it was such a good episode. I mean, whenever the Night's King, whenever Mira goes outside of the Three-Eyed Raven's cave, and you just see the Night's King and the White Walkers and his army, I'm like, it was like a holy shit moment. Like, this is incredible. One, I don't know how the hell they got there that fast, but that's something I don't really ever question with Game of Thrones, because it's like, how did Sansa get to? She got to Mole's Town.
Yeah, she did. She got.
I'm like, what?
she moved very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But to me, this whole army and the Night King, that was supernatural.
I think so too. I mean, I feel like that, and that's kind of what the Three-Eyed Raven said to him, is that once Bran touched the Night's King, I honestly thought that's all we were gonna get in this episode. Like, whenever I saw the preview last week for this week's episode, I was like, holy shit, Bran's gonna see the Night's King. This is gonna be incredible. And I thought that was it. Like, that was all. We were gonna get this really cool flashback or something with Bran and the Night's King. Nope. They just like blew that out of the water.
Right.
I mean,
we didn't get to sit around and feel it for a while.
No, this was hard home level badass.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. Just now, Robin messaged us. She's like a huge Game of Thrones fan. She's listened to our stuff, podcasts, our everything, videos that we do for almost a couple years now. And she said, "Oh man, I'm crying so hard right now, but it was a fabulous episode." And she says, what do you know? I actually like Danny this episode. LOL. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's Danny's never been like a main character on the show that I've really like been drawn to. I thought
What?
I'm just not. I
Who
Danny's
are
story
you two bitches? You and Robin.
Danny's story just doesn't do it for me. It's not that I like where Danny's story is heading, and I really was super happy whenever I thought that Tyrion and Danny were going to get paired up for the long term, and then she
Hmm.
got dragged away to Vice Dothrak and everything, and then that kind of I was like, damn man, Tyrion and Danny like they can be a good team together and everything, and then you threw Varys in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such an interesting story for them, but I did like Danny, just like Robin says. I like Danny a lot in this episode, and I freaking love the hell out of this episode. I'm gonna give this episode 5 out of 5 bacons.
I agree. 5 bacons.
It was incredible. So
Yep. It was a
uh,
good one.
we want to know your thoughts on the episode, so leave them in the comment box below. You can actually email us. It is rantpocalypse@gmail.com. Feel free to email us there.
And will the Starks come around to a happy ending eventually?
Yeah. Do you think that's going to happen? Let us know. So thanks so much for joining in our chat, and we'll be back next week to discuss Season 5, Episode 6. Damn it. We're getting so close to the end. Not cool. All right. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.